No.
Happy Tuesday, beautiful people.
Happy Tuesday.
Grand Rising.
Hey. It's a good day to have a good day.
Yes. Okay, we're going to start. I think we are recording already. All right.
Grand Rising, Elizabeth. Thank you for joining us this morning. At 9 a.m., we will close our social media and continue on Zoom only. Join us by getting your Zoom link at elizabethvisionaryconference.org. We will be there until 10 a.m. You can join us now, and we'll see you in the Elizabeth Zoom room. Today, your hosts are Mama Raziya Curtis, Andrea Hetheru, and Deitra Covington. Enjoy.
Hello. Grand Rising, Queens.
Grand Rising.
Grand Tuesday Rising.
We're walking in the darkness with Mama.
Yes, I was holding on to the rail. I don't play with it. The rail is
I know that's right.
The rail has purpose. If you slip with holding the rail, you will not fall. Guaranteed, you will not.
I know that's right.
It's not up there for a decor. So I am pulling from the Power Thought cards today. I am Sister Mama Hetheru.
Okay.
Sister. I like that. I'm sister. Because I'm grown. I think I'm grown anyway, right? I'm a grown young woman. All right.
There you go.
All right. The card that I pulled today. I love my body. I create peacefulness in my mind, and my body reflects this peacefulness as perfect health.
Yay.
Yes.
All right, so you know, Mama Head, I like to do some movement. So today, let's see. We'll do some head and neck and a little waist, okay? All right, so let's first of all just shake any whatever's off. Just shake and vibrate. So we just clear our space. My friend likes to call it the crazy dog. You know when dogs go nuts and they just run around, and like after they've been shampooed or washed, they just run around the house. That's probably so much so for their drying as well as them just saying yay.
Yeah, I can see that.
So sometimes we do the crazy dog. We just get up and just let everything go. Yes.
Sounds reasonable to me.
Hey, sometimes you just need to do it. I know when my daughter would do a tantrum, I have one. I can do one too. I would just, she would stand back and look at me like, wow.
Right. That was a good move.
Hey, listen, shock is good. Okay, so let's just first begin by taking a deep breath. And we can breathe from the diaphragm by inhaling through the nostrils. You want to kind of keep your chest still, and your tummy will fill with air. So you want to blow it up like a balloon on the inhale through your nostrils. Okay, and as you're doing that, you want to take your core, the innermost center of yourself, and open it up and push it down to the root chakra on that inhale. And on the exhale, you want to close that core and pull it up behind the belly button as you exhale, and letting all the air out of your body through your mouth, imagining your belly button touching your spine. So that's how we want to breathe. Remember to have the shoulders around, back, and down, and sit up straight and tall to elongate that spine. Chin should be parallel to the floor, face pleasant. It's not about being a fake person smiling, but the smiling is exercise for the face. We have got to remember that. So if somebody tells you to smile and you really want to smile, turn around and go ahead and do it, because it's exercise, because gravity will eventually pull all of this down. So work to keep the muscles taut. All right, so our first movement, let's see where I want to go with these. All right, so we'll just do our head and just take our head down, chin to chest, and then raise the chin to the sky and then reach a little bit. Just take the jaw up into the sky and then take it back down and up and reach and down and up and reach and down and up and reach. One more. Take your time. As we do these movements, you want to assess your body and see how you feel. Take a note to see what you might need to work on. And then look at the zones to see where you're feeling the tension and what you're going through. And then we'll do right and left. And check and make sure your shoulders are down and the spine is straight. Sit on back. Sit on those sit bones. 3. Just looking right and left. 4. Do things in sets of 8 and 5. Look as far as you can without hurting yourself. 6 and 7 and 8. Hold up ear to shoulder. If you hear any pops or snaps, that's the it's your spine releasing the gas between the vertebrae. Just over, ear over shoulder. 2 more. And if you hear anything go pop or crack, snap, crackle, or pop, just say uh-oh. And it makes the workout even more fun. So just take your head and go all the way around. Be gentle with yourself. Really let it hang. This is a trusting process here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
So make sure you're breathing, inhaling and exhaling, still moving that core. Uh-oh. Any snaps, crackles, or pops. And other way, other direction. Uh-oh. That's that left side. The side you lean on watching TV.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. All right, let's go ahead and straighten up that head. Just gaze forward. Breathing, continue breathing, moving that core. All right, so we're going to do a rock. So you can stay in your chairs and we're just going to rock forward and back. So inhale and exhale. Inhale.
Yeah, I can feel that stretch.
Good. Inhale and exhale. And 4. One more. Still assessing that body, moving that core, breathing. Keep that face pleasant. Do your exercise. You ever look at black women when you ride past them in the car? Our faces be toe up. All right, let's go right to left. So lean as far as you can without the cheek coming up off the chair, okay? And line the body up. You want to do it lined up. You should feel that pull from your hip and your lower back. Still breathing. Keep those cheeks down, don't cheat. Ooh, this left side is telling on me. I'm telling you, it's telling. That's the feminine side. All right, now we're going to go all the way around. Keep the cheeks on the chair. All the way around. Full body. Listening out for your snap, crackles, or pops. Quiet. Uh-oh. 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 Oh my goodness. And other way. Round and round. Either you all are moving or you don't have no snap, crackles, or pops. Or you're on mute.
Yeah, it looks like most people are muted.
Okay. That's all right. That's all good. Uh-oh. All right. So now we'll just
Say it
chest
again.
forward. So what'd you say?
Oh, I thought you asked a question.
Oh yeah, I was just asking if I said it was quiet, but Deitra told us that most people had their mics on mute. I said I was just saying that if you hear a snap, crackle, or pop, just go uh-oh, and just identifying where it is and what zone and what side of the body it's on. Okay, so
Okay.
now we'll bring our chest forward, exaggerate it without hurting yourself. You're gonna act like somebody's touching you in your back and pushing forward, and then in the chest. So we're rounding. So it's cat and cow sitting. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Uh-oh. And exhale back. And forward. And back. And forward. And back. And six. And back to 1. 7. Now, so that was a chest move. So now we're going to go from right to left. So push. So when you push side to side, some people want to do this. Now we've already done the whole body. So now what we want to focus on is a chest slide. So what you're going to do is you're going to push one shoulder over. It makes the other one raise. Keep those cheeks on the floor, okay? And so it's a chest slide, side to side. And you'll feel that pull here. It's a chest slide. So if you're doing this, that's not quite it. But that's okay if that's what you got. Because we have to learn how to move our bodies in sections. So these are called isolations. Mm-hmm. Yep, one shoulder should go up, the other one should go down. It's a chest slide. Good job. If your body's definition of what I'm doing is different, that's all right. Just keep moving, okay? Now we're going to do a chest circle. So it's a horizontal circle. So you're going to take all those directions that we just moved in and go around. So the first time we were doing this, whole body. Now we're doing the chest. Keep this part still. You know, all that stuff your auntie and grandma said, quit being fast, girl, moving all that.
Right.
And other way. Round and round we go. All right, now we're going to do some lifts. Remember our lifts? So we're going to inhale, and the tummy's going to come in and let the tummy flop when it goes out. And that makes the chest move. So your chest is just your chest going up. Okay? Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Faster. Breathe. Now we're going to do a circle. So we're going to go up, over, down, and left. Up. I can see if you're cheating because your whole body will do like this. So it should be against the chest. And the other way. Up, left, down, right, up, left, down, right, up, left, down, right. Circle.
Mine just look like a flat board.
No, I don't. Stop it.
I gotta have them big
That's 'cause
cheese.
you
Get some
ain't
good
from the front.
cheese.
You can hold them up. It's okay. You can hold them up. It's all right. You can help them. It's all good.
Cheese.
It's all good.
All
You say
good.
good morning to your body this morning. Good morning, body. Just
Good
rub
morning.
everywhere.
Good
Rub.
morning.
Wake
Good morning, body.
up. Wake
Don't miss
up.
nothing. Get your tricks and crevices. Everything. Don't miss nothing. Get your ears and your nose. Everything.
Down.
Okay, now do the crazy dog.
Right. That was wonderful, Mama Head.
All right.
That was good.
You're welcome.
You know, and I was wondering, I was looking, I didn't see Sister Evelyn on the on our folks. Anybody talk to her? She's on-
You know, she's
I'll text her.
yeah, she's caught up with getting you know, her grandson in the mornings now.
Okay.
We have to-
But she'll
we have
probably
to
be on later.
Yeah, we had to tell her to just turn her camera on because we're used to seeing
Right.
and just walk around.
That's right.
Yeah, if we think about somebody, we definitely need to check on them because that's what happened to me the other day. I was like, hey, I haven't seen Empress on here. Hey, Mama Raziya.
She's still
Yeah, if you
connected.
think about them, call them. That's the simp.
That's true. That's right.
Here we go. Okay, you're co-hosting whenever you're ready, dear.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see if I can find it.
Grand Rising, Raziya, it's good to see you. Mama Bay, everybody, Lily B, Star. Of course, I saw Star physically.
Roll call, Shaboogie. Check us out. Roll call, Shaboogie.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to say grand rising to everyone. It's always a pleasure to be before you. So thank you all for joining this morning. Let's see, you know, I had the grand opportunity to attend an event this past Saturday with Yaki Awakened. He came to Detroit, and I mentioned him before on this channel, but I did have a chance to sit in on his event this past Saturday. It was well attended, and he was dynamic. I watched a lot of his videos, so I was familiar with his structure, how he goes about doing it. But I wanted to bring a couple things to the call today and share what I learned on Saturday. So I do want to say that I will be rewriting the notes that I have from him, but if anybody wants them, I will share them with you. But he goes into more scientific areas in his talks. And if you've watched any of his videos, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. He really gets into the science of the body and the mind, and you know, so I took notes on all of that thing because he did go that deep in the presentation this Saturday, but I'm not going to share all that today. let's see, and this diagram is kind of, it kind of gives a take on what he talked about on Saturday. He really talked about our environment. It affects our health. Because sometimes we think it's only what we eat, that's most important, but it's so many other things that affect our health. And these are the different dynamics. You have the mental, what are we thinking? Because it affects our body too, how we think about things and what we eat, of course. And then we deal with the spiritual, because sometimes, we say that we're spiritual beings, but what are we tapping to on a spiritual level, as a spiritual being? And then we have our body. We have 5 senses. We have learned, I've talked about the senses before, so it's not new, but we need to really pay attention to our senses too, I'll get into that in a little bit. Are there any questions at this point? All right. Okay, let's look at the mental. I'm going to go back to the event on Saturday. Yaki really talked about, the mental state of where you are. That's important, because he shared, and I thought it was profound. He said, what if I came in this building and there was no one here? Would it be, some people understand if I was upset, but me knowing, the effect of stress on the body, I know I should not get stressed out because no one came. So it would be very important that I stay positive, even if I don't see anybody in this building. And I was like, wow, it was just very profound that he mentioned that, because most people would be really, really, really upset if nobody was at their event, so he shared that. And then another thing, he said, I wrote this is what I came up with. What another person does or doesn't do shouldn't affect, how we feel. We shouldn't be moved by that necessarily. What they say. Sometimes people, you'll be in a conversation and somebody says something and it can upset you, and we really should take a step back and realize that people are going to do and say what they want to do or say, but we can't be thrown off base because of something like that. Are there anybody want to share on that?
I like to say,
Well,
oh, go ahead, Mama Raziya. Go ahead.
well, I have for years been following the concept that who needs to be here is here. I also have a concept of what is it that God guides me to share with this group or share today, and let that be so strong that I am not affected by who's here, because I'm giving it over to God in terms of how this session will truly be conducted. So
yes,
that
thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, thank you.
I was just gonna say, yes, having events, you feel some kind of way when maybe people don't come, but then afterwards you realize that the ones that showed up were the ones that were supposed to be there, because the other folks might have taken your desired outcome or purpose to another direction. So
that's true. So true. So true.
And then my father, the other one that you said, what another person does or doesn't do shouldn't have you all. What do my dad used to say, oh man, I just forgot it. But wait a minute now. Knock you. Nope, that's not it. My dad. I wanted to say what my daddy used to say about what another person does or doesn't do. Okay, forget it. I'm done. Anyway, don't get your panties in a bunch because somebody doesn't think or talk like you.
Right, that's right, that's right.
And a lot of times those people are really talking to themselves. It only makes you feel some kind of way if you have experience with it. So it makes you lift or, woo, like, whoa.
That's true, that's right.
Deidre,
Yes.
excuse me, there's a minister here, local minister, Minister Saladin.
Yes, yes.
And some of you have met him or heard him speak, but he often reminds us to not be concerned about the number of people in the room.
Right.
And he shares with us that he is so propelled to give the message. He prepares all day Saturday for what he's gonna be doing and sharing on Sunday.
Right.
And he says, I'm just thankful for whoever is here. If one person is here, my message will not be affected.
There you go. That's
I'm
right.
so propelled. And I've listened to him and I've noticed he's the same if there's 30 people or if there's 3 people.
Right. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's very, very inspirational to see his fortitude and his determination in that arena.
Oh, good. Thank you. That's a good example. Thank you for sharing that one. Woo-hoo.
Deitra?
Yes. Oh, hi there, Star.
Hi, can you go back to the first one so I can take a picture of it?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Uh-oh, wait a minute. There we go.
Okay. Got it. Thank
Okay. Okay, is there anything else? But thanks for everything you shared, guys. That's wonderful, 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 inspirational. All right. Now we're gonna go into the spiritual. I do have spiritual with mental because, those are things that aren't tangible. We really can't see them per se, but they're part of who we are though, our mind and it can go different places, but we don't see that really, we don't necessarily see who we are. Okay, spiritual. I wanted to touch on this one because sometimes, we need to take a look at what do we believe and why do we believe it? Some of us have been conditioned to believe a certain way spiritually because that's the way where our parents, brought us to. But did we choose that and really understand what we have become a part of? And then another question would be, is it truthful? And then some people say, well, my truth might be different than your truth. Sometimes we go into that lane, but sometimes if we take a deeper look, really be a truthful and not a truthful look, but just a very honest look at what we say we believe, and then just look at the truth of it, and so these are just little questions we can ask ourselves. And then one thing that came out on Saturday, Yaki talked about, like, especially here in America, they have given us Jesus as a white man. But is that the truth? Or that's a question. You might feel it is the truth, but is it the truth? Or you might not even care, I don't know. And then the Bible, there are so many different versions, and is everything in it the truth? The principle of what was taught in the Bible may be the truth, but is everything, the stories in the Bible, is all that true? Do we know? Do we try to find out? I don't know. Is there anything anyone else can share?
Well, in this class that I'm taking, the Course of Miracles, everything in there is not necessarily true
Okay.
because of the ego.
Yes.
I mean, yes, God speaks. However, if the ego is in the way, it's going to taint the things that God says. And the other thing is, everything that is in the Bible, not everything that was written is in the Bible.
Right, exactly. That's true.
And so that is why it is important to have a relationship with the Creator, so that when we do read the Bible, we'll have a better understanding of what is being said. Because when I found out that there are different denominations in religion that use the Bible to claim that they are the right denomination, I thought that there was something wrong with that picture.
Right.
So it is important to have a relationship with the Creator when you read the
Yes.
Bible. That
That's
way you
true.
can get a better understanding.
That's true. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else?
Well,
Okay,
I
go
would,
ahead, Mama Raziya.
I've always been reminded that believing is seeing. Rather than seeing is believing. It's actually believing is seeing. So if we look at that statement, we realize that people will interpret and write a paragraph, write an article from what they believe.
Yeah.
When people decided that the person that they trust or the person that they follow needs to look like them, or be their same color, I think that gives us some clue as to why we see all of these pictures of a white Jesus.
Sorry.
People who are open to really looking at history and listening and being more of a student of life,
Yes.
will find out that it's pretty hard to, kind of impossible that Jesus was white.
Yeah.
At the time that he walked the earth. So we're in this country, I found that it seems that we were fearful to really look at truth.
Yes, that's true.
I think I was about 3 or 4 years old, and I was in Sunday school, and the teacher was talking about heaven. And this particular teacher was saying that, yeah, when we get to heaven, we'll be in our long white robes, and we'll be walking on streets of gold, and the land will be filled with milk and honey. And she was having all of this description of things that she thought would be heaven. And I raised my hand and I said, "Teacher, I don't think I want to go to heaven because it sounds boring." And the teacher was irate. She was so upset with me. She called my mother.
Wow.
Had my mother to come down to the classroom, and she said, "You need to watch this girl. This girl is she's not right, You need to punish her," or, she was just really upset that I think I was 3 or 4.
Wow.
And I had this, concern, because as a child, I didn't feel that I would enjoy sitting in a white robe. So
I know, and sometimes people might not like milk and honey. I mean, it's like, oh, yeah. Okay.
But so we really do need to look at where our beliefs and our thoughts come from.
That's right. Thank you, Raziya.
I have-
Anyone else?
Yeah, I have to share this. It's funny, Raziya, that you said that because when they talk in the book of Revelation, right? And they describe that at the end that we're going to be, around God and just going like this, holy, 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 holy. And I said the same thing. I said, that sounds, I love you, God, but that sounds really boring.
I was thinking the same thing as she was describing it.
Yeah, we're gonna do all of this, live through all of this just to go like this, holy, holy, holy.
Oh, wow.
They up there partying. That's what I believe.
I'll let that go, Okay.
Mama Het, you wanted to say something?
So the thing with the whole truth aspect, a lot of times people only resonate with things if there's a conversation or a challenge going on, people resonate with certain parts of it. So the whole may not consider it the truth, but it may be the truth of the person. That's why we have to be careful and mindful about, when folks are telling stories and we think that they're lying, they only remember what resonated with them. And sometimes one word can take a conversation or can turn a conversation into a whole big old battle,
That's true.
One word, or because there was no comma or the voice inflection was really loud. You were loud, you got loud with me. I'm excited about this. If you get excited about a subject, your voice may tend to get a little louder. So we have to be mindful of those things. But my husband and I got into a tennis match because I told him it was the truth and what really happened. He said, but the truth is what really happened. I said, no, it's not. If you sit and talk to two people,
they'll see
two different stories and they were in the situation. But that's what made me think about it, is that this person was talking about this and this person was talking about something else. And that's why the miscommunication happens.
That's right. It can happen so easy. Yeah.
And then if I'm on the left side and you're on the right side, you're going to see it different. If somebody's in front, somebody's in back, their story is going to be different. They're in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. All of them came from what their experiences were. And so you get a different perspective of their relationship. Even with all of you queens sitting here, I have a different relationship with every single one of you, and every single one of you have a different relationship with every single one of you.
Right.
Yeah. And so you don't know the total that total person until you spend really a lot of time, and still
right.
Yeah, like I was saying, about Star, it was not until the last 10 years of her life, and probably because, not probably, it's because we lived together, that I know she wrote poetry and put all this stuff together and has a whole, knows how to really make flyers and covers and all that kind of stuff. So that part I didn't know, although she's my sister,
Right.
I'll clean and help, just everything. So, but I still don't know that part of her, or that part that each of you had a conversation with Star that I know nothing of.
Right.
And so we can't know, I know this person. No, that part of her, you don't know.
Right.
You know me as a braider, or in this case, you may know me as a host and stuff, but you don't know when I walk into that braiding salon, who I am to them, and even to each of them, I'm different.
Right. Right.
Our interactions and what our thoughts are of whatever whatever our encounter is. And so all of our relationships are different, even spiritually, with if we all call Jesus, everybody, the name Jesus, everybody, a whole different conversation comes in our head about that name.
Right.
So some of it's pain, some of it is joy, some of it is, I don't know, Some of it is don't say that name. Some of it is, oh, the name of Jesus. So, and that's the beauty of the variety that God has put on earth, that we are here and learning and learning
Yes,
that we are all though pieces of the one.
exactly.
Different
Exactly. And so many pieces. And that's
expressions.
something.
Yeah.
Woo-wee.
Yeah, different expressions of one.
Yes.
That's so cool because I look pretty good. Look at every one of you are me in this box. I call
Right.
you different
Right.
expressions of me. Yeah, yeah.
Is there anyone else?
Well, I would just like to throw this statement out. My truth is not necessarily your truth.
Mhm.
What
Okay.
do we do with a statement like that? And then the other statement is, what is the definition of knowledge? One definition is knowledge is knowing.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
And that's different than believing,
Yes.
Just because you believe something don't mean you really know it, Mm-mm.
yeah.
And can that knowing from each of us saying we know, can that be shaken? Can that be challenged?
Good question.
You know.
I,
Right.
I would say
Right.
that it can,
Uh-huh.
like, okay, like those on here who are married, who have a mate. You supposedly know your mate. However, like Sheila said, there are some things about your mate that you do not know and you will never
Right.
know,
That's so true.
because each and every individual, like some years ago, I had a friend, and then she didn't want to be friends anymore. And I'm asking God, well, how come you didn't tell me? Well, that is when I found out that God's walk with each and every person is an individual walk
That's
and an
right.
individual relationship. God don't have to tell us anything about anybody because it's
Right.
an individual walk. And sometimes either you or your mate, you can't tell anybody anything if you don't even understand yourself.
Right. Amen.
So how can you explain it to anybody?
Right.
That's true.
That's just how it is.
Mhm.
And Deitra, I
But
just
there is only one that knows, and that's God.
right. That's true. And I thought about responsibility. Even though we have children or animals or parents or brothers and sisters, we are all responsible for our doggone self.
That's
That's the
true.
only person you give people information, you watch, you offer whatever, but we are only responsible for ourselves, and that's why we're having. And that, I think that's what this social media, the emotions are now. The ego is on demand right now. It's about
Right.
the ego right now, and
Oh,
we moved
yes.
away from our individuality because and people are there may be a bubble here. You got the bubble with uh Megan Thee Stallion and Lizzo, and then you got a bubble over here with the with rites of passage, and you got the bubble over here. We got all these different bubbles, and some people we just be jumping from bubble to bubble to bubble. Today we mad at so and so.
I know.
We mad at Timberland because they got the sycamore tree, and we mad at Gucci for blah 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 blah, and we mad at mother because she only let my youngest sister go with her on a trip. We just all over
Always.
crazy dog.
Right, exactly.
But the one thing, looking at this spirituality from a holistic approach, is that we look at it physically, physiologically, and socially. It's not just spiritual. Isn't just a branch of religion, or I'm
Right.
using that
That's
because
true.
how you identify. What happened to me is I was deep into church. I had an experience, and it took me even deeper. Where the preacher was going to ask me to be a stewardess. I was like, oh Lord, I'm about to grow up, and then something happened to where I didn't feel full.
Right.
I didn't feel full at my church. Now my mother was like the youngest, oldest member of the church because she grew up in the church and I did too. But I got to a point where I felt there was like an emptiness happening.
Yeah.
And so I just happened to, I don't know why I went by myself, but the Charles H. Wright, which is right next door to my church, I went by myself and they were having, I was looking at voodoo. I love the James Bond and the one with Jeffrey Holder in it and all of that. And I was like, okay, wait a minute. So taking that's what my experience was with the voodoo. And then going to the museum, I said, oh, it's called voodoo. Oh, it's a religion. Oh, it's if you mess with me, I'm gonna protect myself so you can't hurt me thing.
Okay.
And then, because we're taught that, voodoo is all bad and stuff. No, don't bother me. And it's protective. And then I came across some people that said, well, if you're gonna let's say you're gonna put a curse on somebody, you don't want that to mirror back and double back and get you.
I know that's right.
So, I would ask, my thing would be, I would ask that somebody get some, help, let them get some knowledge or some understanding, whatever. I'll put things like that out there so that if it does happen to me, it'll be good for me too.
Okay, right.
The people that need to have some experiences will have those experiences.
Right.
So, we really don't have to get into that. But the spirituality deals with cosmology, ritual practices, symbols, art, society, and so on. It's not just one space.
Right.
And how
So
women
true.
and so how women play a key role in the practice of the traditions, because it's internal gender relations and dynamics are very profound. So there are many female goddesses and other figures, right? And then when we look at the spirituality, there's always a balance. If there's let me see, give me an example. People that study Ifa or Vodun, we have our goddesses and gods that are, to keep the balance, the masculine and feminine version.
Yes.
So we need to be aware of that it's not just one dominated. And that, let's see, the approach to indigenous African religions to gender is one of complete complementary, which is a confluence of male and female forces operating in harmony.
Yeah, I like that idea of balance. That's true. Yes.
And to maintain constant symbiotic relations with the ancestors who are understood to be intimately concerned and involved with the descendants of everyday their life, the life of their descendants. So, when we have family members who pass away, some of us, and this is just experience because of whatever the relationship was.
Right.
Like some people just, they can't function. I have one of my my very dear girlfriends, when her father passed, she was not good. I mean, I don't want to say good. She checked out.
Okay.
So I don't know what word to use, but when I watched that, when I used her as a reflection for me when my mom passed, I know that I tell people sometimes that I wanted to remember the things, the foundation and the things that my mother laid down and gave me and gifted me, all the lessons, whether they came with one of these or one of these,
Right.
in the lesson cabinet, but to remember those memories and those things. Now, when she first left, I was blew out. I go in the bathroom and I was like, you gonna show up in here? And I'm cracking up because a friend of mine told me to remember to laugh through your tears. And I was like, no, smile through your tears. And I was like, what the heck does that mean? And then I got it. Because as you think about them, like Hetheru would ask me, he's like, what are you sad about, Mama Head? And I couldn't even tell him what I was sad. I was just like, I miss my mother. And then something happened. Like like a yellow butterfly will go by me, or some recognition of her will happen. I remember
that's beautiful.
It is. It really is. I remember when I was with Mama Raziya, we went to Hilton Head, and a friend of hers came in, and I the woman reminded me of my mom, and I had to walk out of the house because I said, it's not real. But my mother, that's still, to me, that's like my mother saying, hey, I'm here. When we see those
Right.
reminders.
That's true. That's so true.
So I don't know. I just want people to be able to experience what they have to, but remember what you were given and gifted so that you can carry on that legacy or carry on what they brought
Yes.
you and be strong, because they not gone nowhere. The physical, you miss it, call a friend. I need a hug, babe. Come hug me.
Right.
But know that they're even more so present than they were.
They are. Oh my goodness. Yes. Because I relate to my dad with jazz. And so when I hear jazz music, oh, my dad is right there with me. And I know he jamming with me, So I love it. And gardening, that was my mother. She always had a garden. So whenever I'm dealing with a garden, I'm like, Mom, come and help me.
Yeah.
So much.
Yes, thank you.
Our human existence limits us.
Right, it does. Oh my
The
God.
spiritual connection is so vast because I know we're told also that our ancestors wait for us to ask them to help us with stuff, and we don't even ask.
That's right. So I'm learning a lot about the spiritual side of myself. It's like it's just so much. I'm like, woo. Okay, well, let's go on. Now we're gonna go into the body side. So let's take a look at eating. I want to read this because sometimes when I read stuff, it makes it more real to me. Let's see. Let me block this. Okay, eating is more than the food we eat. Health is more than the food we eat. Still find sickness in the folks that say the following: I am a vegan, I'm a vegetarian, I eat raw. And I put this in there because, over time I've heard of people that were health workers that have passed, from sickness. And I'm like, how did that happen? And I was like, oh, because this is more than just what we eat. What else are we taking in? So even if you're a vegan, how's your mind? How's your, your other senses? What are you involved in? So even when people say these things and they still dealing with certain kind of sickness, they might be better off than other people, but it still has issues. And what allowed you to eliminate effectively? So when you eat, honestly, right now, I honestly ask myself, is this going to go through me okay? Whatever I'm putting in my mouth, I ask myself, I want this to come out. I don't want to stay in my body and cause issues and whatever. So that's just a couple points I wanted to make. Anybody have any other thoughts?
Yeah, confession time, right? I'm at the altar. You guys are pastors or
okay.
You are mothers.
We got you, Mama. We got
you. So I asked the same thing that you do, Deitra, and it doesn't stop me from still consuming it.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like no, I even say, girl, you know that there's nothing green on this plate.
Right.
And then just walk out, plate's done, go and sit down and eat. So, that question still presents the choice, so thank God you choose the right one. Does it go through? And sometimes I have to go do sea salt to get it on out.
Right.
Yeah. So you can have the same question and then you still have to make that choice, knowing this will benefit, be to who is saying this, be to my my benefit or my detriment.
Right.
So, and then be dealing with later on in life, that choice that I made when I didn't choose, choose what was good for my body.
Right.
I chose detriment, and then it's showing up 5,
It
10.
shows up. It'll show up.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
show up and show out, or stay, or
Thank
get
God.
stuck.
Thank God, in any moment, I can make it, I can change those choices.
Yes.
God, we don't get stuck. We don't get stuck and stupid, you know?
Right.
Right.
Yeah, we can change those dynamics for our body and make better choices.
But you know, it's amazing to me when I eat something that I know is not right. And I feel like, oh, but it tastes good. You know what I mean? Like, really, and it's funny, my husband, I say, oh, this is good. He was like, is it good for you though? I'm like, he always want to point it out. I'm like, oh my God.
It's like you busted my bubble here.
Exactly, right. I was going to enjoy this thing, whatever it was.
Yeah.
You know what, for me, I move so that I can eat. You know what I mean? I keep it moving. And if we know here's the thing. If we know we're gonna, have some cheese or ice cream, these are just examples.
Right.
They're
Drink
perfect,
more
yeah.
water. Drink some more water. And then
Yeah.
like the other day, yesterday I was not okay. I got in the bed. I had to stay in the bed because I had cheesed it up. I don't remember seeing Sheila the Dooney, when you mentioned the green, I was like, that's why I had a problem, because I didn't eat no greens. If you're gonna have an Alfredo, you need to have some salad. That's why they serve salad with it.
Right.
And then you need to eat the salad afterwards, because that flushes you. So the meal is supposed to be salad after the meal. I don't know if you all knew that.
Right.
To help with the pushing it down. So the first thing I did was I told myself, I said, you need to eat some greens. So I made a salad. And the pain was up higher, and after eating the salad, I could feel it go down. Well, it was only in my gait, so only when I walked I could feel this pain. I was like, you know what that is. You need to go take care of your business. So honey, I went and got me some castor oil and put on the bottom of these feet, put my socks on, put the castor oil on my belly, and it moved on down.
Okay, good.
But everything was still flowing, so we still have to be careful with the blockages. Because
Yes.
what are you going through in your mentals? And that's what you were going towards.
Right.
What's going on in your mind?
Yeah.
What
That's
have you been
right.
taking in? Or listening to, hearing people talk. Remove
We can
yourself.
feel guilt. We can be guilty and feel very ashamed of ourselves by what we eating and what we doing. It's something. It's something. It's all connected.
Mhm.
And don't be a snob. We got some snobs out there. I remember when girlfriend was fussing, she was always talking about y'all eating all that blah 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 blah. And then the spinach had E. coli. Trust and believe, the same air that all of us are breathing is happening to the plants and everything. So we all getting jacked up. But
That's
everybody
right.
can't eat those different diets. Some people need the protein, some people need the meat or whatever. And we have better ways. I don't know if it's now because everything is getting bothered. But some people can't eat like that. Or they don't choose to eat that way. But when we do, just make sure that, we're going to places or making sure that we're taking the proper precautions when we prepare our food. Because that's another thing. Don't cook if you got an attitude, because everybody going to be mad, and that takes part. That's another thing.
Right.
If you're angry or sick, you shouldn't be cooking.
That's right. That's
true.
Mama Raziya.
Yeah. This is it's so important, the discussion we're having, because you kind of need to look at conscious eating.
Yeah.
There are people who have discovered that the sadness that we have when we had to look at that piece of chicken or that fish that we love so much, and we said, no, I can't eat it because I gotta stay raw, I gotta do this. That sadness can do more harm to the body.
That's true.
Than having eaten the chicken or the fish that you really wanted.
Oh, great point. That's right.
The idea of staying in balance and discovering what works for you. I got so concerned about do I need to give up all these things in order to be healthy? And I found that there is information that helps you to understand how long it takes for a nice sugary dessert to go through your body,
Yeah.
and what it is that you can do to offset the harm that that could do, like raising your blood sugar and so forth. I think I found that meat takes 48 to 72 hours
Yeah, it takes some time.
to work through the body and digest. So you can actually plan to cleanse after you've gone to that special party, or you've gone out to that dinner and you ate some things that you were told may not be for your greater good.
Yeah.
Right.
But so you don't have to be so caught up and worried from day to day. I found early on that I did not want to disappoint or displease my elders who had prepared dinner for me.
Right, right.
And they didn't know about all the vegetarian and vegan concerns and the raw food concerns. But often they had cucumbers and tomato,
Of course, yeah.
and they had lemons in the house, so lemon water was available. You know, there were things that you could have to offset
Right.
your concerns. But some of my relatives will say, "You're not going to eat any of that, those ribs? I worked hard to get these ribs just right." So there are many things in our whole eating process that go into being healthy. And one is to be able to respect the people around us as we're making our choices. I
That's
think
true.
Kat
Oh.
mentioned something about being arrogant and pompous, and you know, this, we have to do this and you need to be doing this and you should not be touching that. Those are very serious issues.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Oh, that's a good point,
as we
Mama
go
Raziya.
along.
Should
Thank
is
you
a
for
strong
sharing that.
word. Should is a very, I had to tell myself, I don't need to use that.
Yeah.
That's shoving. Don't should, don't
Yeah.
should.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Sister Nawili.
Great day, great morning, everyone, great rising. So, you know, I'm out walking. So as we're having this conversation, you know how things always synchronistically align. So I'm walking past this wall as we're having this conversation. I'm gonna try to show it to you. Can y'all see the word? It says choices.
Yes.
And then this says oat milk.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Go figure.
I know, right?
So, and oat milk is my favorite.
Good, good.
Wonderful conversation, and thank y'all. I love
No,
y'all.
thank you. Thank you.
It's so wonderful to have choices. So wonderful.
Thank you for bringing us oat milk.
Okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to talk about the five senses.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we know it's taste, sight, touch, smell, and hearing. Let's look at taste. Is what tastes good to us good? If what tastes good to us, is it good for us? And that's what I said earlier. You know, we have to ask ourselves that question. And when dealing with sight, I'm just gonna go to TV, and because we watch a lot of that kind of stuff. But is it good for us? You know, is it giving us good feelings, deep feelings? Because sometimes you can watch a whole bunch of shows that are a lot of killing, and I mean, we're feeling sad, and it could really be happening. You know, the mind doesn't know the difference. You know, when you see stuff, you know there's a TV, but sometimes our mind feels like we're part of it. We're there, you know, so we got to be careful what we're watching.
Deitra,
Yes.
I must say, with absolutely no apologies that Haagen-Dazs ice cream tastes good to me
It tastes good to me too.
and is not good for me.
Right. Okay, good. We feel you. We're on the same page. A lot of us are.
Yeah, some things it just doesn't. And thank God for the, you know, where we are with the being vegetarian or taking it to vegan or taking it to raw, that there are more choices now. Education for those things are more available. When we know that, you know, a lot of things are still processed.
Yes.
You know, to be like meat or like, you know, like this and like that and everything, sooner or later, whatever you're eating now, 5 years from now, that's going to be, they're going to say that that's not good for you.
Exactly.
You know, so, but yeah, what tastes good to us, good for us? Well, unless a person just does not like sugar, if it's got sugar in it, it's going to taste good to us.
But you know something I realize is that I don't
good for us.
Yeah, is that I don't eat as much as I would used to. You know, I might eat a whole bowl of ice cream before, but now I have a little cup, you know, so it's less. I'll do less now. So
yeah,
that's one step.
Well, I learned also around cheese, loving cheese, you know, really. So when I switched over to, you know, where it's not dairy, I still, you know, so vegan cheese. Now this is just my assessment. Okay, that vegan cheese. What was happening if you get the mucus, right?
Yes, yes.
But the bad thing about cheese, bad in quotes, right, is that it came from an animal. So if you don't eat animals, you don't eat the cheese and blah, blah, blah. You don't eat the eggs and all that.
Right.
But so you get soy cheese or you get, you know, any other kind of cheese that's created. What my reaction was that it's the thickness of, because they still have to make it that same thickness and that same and stuff. It clogs me up because it's still that thickness that is clogging. That's, to me, that's what my revelation about one or the other. My body still reacted in clogging up on the inside of me, you know.
But you know, you made a good point, because we need to pay attention to our body and how it's reacting to stuff. You know, we need to pay close attention to that.
Right.
Let's see here. And you know what? This brings to mind something else that Yaki shared on Saturday. He asked the whole crowd, who in here raises their own food? You know, and some people raised their hands, but many of them did not. He said, you know, right now we're coming into a phase of food elimination, or we're not going to get a lot of food in our grocery stores and stuff. So in and above contamination of the food, you know, we need to know somebody that grows food, you know, from the land. But many of us don't know people that do that can, you know, because what if it comes to a point where we need to go, you know, get in a group, community or whatever, someone is growing food, that we can get food and we can barter or something, because somebody else has something to give to. You might have a water source or something, because water, we need clean water, and but you need to barter or something to come to it, and you can barter with someone that has food, because you might not have food, you know. So these are things that, you know, I know me and Mama Raziya talked about this in the past, that we need to be in communication with our people, you know, in our community, you know. But I don't know, any thoughts?
Well, Deidre,
Yes.
I would just like to say that there are quite a few activities in Metro Detroit, quite a few gardening groups or people who are into gardening. I know I joined Keep Growing Detroit,
Okay.
Greening of Detroit about 8 or 10 years ago. And it was a small number of people at that point, and it just grew and grew. So there are hundreds of people now who are gardening. But I was saying, oh, I'm working full time and I have classes on 2 days a week. I can't garden.
Okay.
But in this group, I met 2 or 3 people who said, where do you live? I said, well, I'm Northwest Detroit. Well, I live on blah, blah, blah. I'm in Northwest too. When you want to plant, I'll come over and I'll volunteer and help you plant your garden. And then when I get ready to plant mine, you could come over and help me get mine. It's easier when you work together.
Yes, yes.
So there are opportunities. We have a wonderful soil here in the Detroit area. We can grow about anything. People come from other states to get our wild edibles and, our weeds and so forth, and take them back to Boston or whatever. So we could do it.
Yes,
I'd love to see us, the Elizabeths take more energy to that. But I wanted to share what we do when we're raising children, when we have that little toddler who's 14 months or 18 months old, going and grabbing things that they shouldn't have and scaring us or some of the stuff that they're trying to put in their mouths.
Right.
We can look at what we did. Now, what I remember doing with my children was saying, don't do this, but don't take this, but you can have this.
Right.
So when we're looking at eating and our taste buds are solid. They are there. We have to come up with substitutes that are satisfying.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that may sound hard, but I just came up with a peach cobbler substitute last week. I like to experiment.
Good.
And so I've loved peach cobbler through the years, but I realized at this age and stage in my life, I really have to kind of give it up. I can eat it every once in a while.
Right.
So the recipe was fresh peaches, apricots, and the apricots can be the dried apricots, and almonds.
Oh.
And I'm telling you, it is a delicious, delicious dessert, and one that Yaki would approve of.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try to share that with y'all because we really need to look at some of the desserts that can be, we can still love the taste, because if it's the taste you're looking for, this dessert has nutmeg and cinnamon and organic vanilla flavor. It has all the stuff that you have in your regular peach cobbler.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you
It's just
for
missing.
sharing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mama Heath, you had your hand raised or something?
I had just posed a question.
Oh.
And why, it doesn't have to be answered. I'm just saying this for, a rhetorical question. Why do we create or pretend of something that we said we don't eat anymore? Like the buffalo, chicken nuggets or tofurkey and things like that. Another thing that I was looking at is our soy products. Soy is one of the most, soy and corn and a whole bunch of other stuff now are the most genetically modified organisms. So we need to be mindful of that. But I really think a lot of what's going on with our food, I'm hearing that the Gates family and other entities are buying up all the farms.
That's right. Yeah.
Our people who are on the I don't know if it's the FDA, but the Monsanto, whatever the hell the name there, that group, they have gone to other countries taking, let us do your seeds or whatnot. They're also the people who produce the pesticide, which is killing folks.
Exactly.
So then they go to other countries, and the other countries are like, no, you're not coming here. And if they did go, and the country people found out that they were the food growers, they would burn their crops. But they're here, and we're eating the food that they produced or whatnot and whatnot. And then they become on the panel. They're the FDA. So these are the things that bother me. But they know they're manipulating our food. That's why they had to change our constitution through this pandemic.
Right.
Because they're thinking they got to change the constitution of these bodies to help people be able to eat what's coming down the pipeline, because they know what they're doing. And I remember studying with the Nuwapians, they were saying that there are seeds that you buy. The seed will grow crop 1 year, and then your earth is jacked up.
Right.
And then again, here we come with the pesticide. I'm also the one providing the pesticide, so no matter what, you're gonna need me. It's just really something about how they put out products like plastic. They knew plastic was detrimental to our health, but they still did it. And look, everything, whether we vegan, veggie, whatever we are, all of our food is coming in plastic.
Right.
Unless we're growing it. And that's some bull.
That's right. Yeah.
Man.
Because this is a depopulation agenda going on that, a lot of us don't know about.
Always for us.
Right. Right. Not that it's funny by no means, but anybody else want to share anything in regards to what we've talked about?
Yes, I like to add a note on the 5 senses.
Okay.
Dr. Michael Vincent taught us that smell is the most important of the 5 senses, because if you have a problem with your smell, it indicates that something is seriously wrong in the body.
Okay.
And he said it also will mess with your ability to make proper decisions.
Interesting.
And intuition. So I had to share that.
Well, thank you for sharing that, and it's interesting in regards to smell. One thing I started doing is really tapping more into aromatherapy, because even in the shower, I have a mint spray that I created myself, and I spray so I can have that smell, just take it in. It relaxes me. And plus, I grew up in the area, River Rouge, Michigan, near 48218, 48219, sorry, in Southwest Detroit, which is deemed the most populated area in Michigan. And they have horrible air, based on the different plants that are there, like DTE and Marathon and all those type of places. It creates really asthmatic air, because a lot of the children have asthma, people have cancer in that area, but it deals with the air we breathe in, and so thank goodness I was able to move. But believe me, it's no walls between these cities, so I'm somewhere else, but believe me, that air is still flowing right my way, and wherever you are, it's flowing. But thank you for sharing that about smell in the senses. Thank you. Okay, now let's go through a few more here. Sight, we talked about shows, what are you watching? Because that feeds you too, that whatever you're looking at, it goes into your cells, because you have a feeling with what you see. And then touch, that is powerful. Oh my God, I didn't really realize, but our skin is an organ. It's the largest organ we have is our skin. And it's interesting that what goes on our skin goes into our body. So when we touching stuff, putting lotion on, and we don't really understand what's in this stuff, and we putting it on our skin, it's getting into our blood. It's going in. Now this is, I should have put little quotations around this, but because I thought it was just something to think about. Can you eat what you put on your skin? You know, I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but I do ask myself that question. You know, if I don't know what's in there, why am I putting it on my skin? You know, would I eat it? No. So I shouldn't put it on my skin, you know. So, you know, I have like, you know, maybe olive oil or coconut oil or something to lubricate versus Jergens or something, you know, and I don't know everything that's in that stuff.
Right.
You know, and then smell. Once again, we, you know, what are we breathing? Even in the house. You know, I remember one sister that was on the call one time talked about, you know, different things you clean with, and we're smelling these things, you know, is that good for our bodies? You know, so we need to make sure we know what we're breathing in. And then lastly, hearing. What music or conversations do we listen to? Because once again, the music and the conversations, it helps, it sets us up to feel a certain way, you know, and how is that making you feel? You know, is it a conducive thing for the body, for health? What we're listening to. Okay, all right, anything else? Okay, someone put something in the chat. Who was that?
That was me. That's Mama Head.
Okay.
Yeah, just thinking about our aromatic candles, laundry detergents,
Yes.
dryer sheets, Glade plugins are a demon, because those things are aromatized. I don't know what the word is, but they give you, you know, sometimes if you need that much help with aroma, then maybe you need to wash, you know, when they came out with Febreze, I was very upset about that. I was like, you need to wash your couch or get a new one.
Right.
Spray over it. But you know,
Right.
we've aborted our things like vinegar. If you burn something in the home, you can put a pot of water with a teaspoon of vinegar and knock out that burnt popcorn, the burnt whatever you burnt, that'll knock it out. We want to use these candles that as you're inhaling, it is killing your reproductive system.
Right.
All this over, you need to clean up. If you need, clean up.
Right.
You know,
Right.
we left our basic things like baking soda, you know, or for me, I can eat just about most of the things that I use. When you go in my cabinets at home, I don't have Windex, I don't have Pine Sol, I don't have what this, that, and the other. I make up my own stuff. Now I can't eat the bubbles, but I put my own essential oils in my cleaning product. Aldi has a great thick thyme oil, and right now we're finding that it's becoming hard to find because it was only $1.49, and I love that stuff. It was non-toxic, you know, but we can make our own things up, you know.
Right, that's true. That's exactly what we can do.
We do too much support of these other companies, and we really don't know that these things are harmful to us. You know, I don't, especially those plug-ins, because once the oil is gone, they'll catch on fire. The firemen hate them. They said that's one of that and dryer lint are the two biggest, and from the dryer sheets will cause the dryer to catch on fire too. The dryer sheets and them doggone plug-ins are like the number one, maybe not number one now, but very popular in house fires. Bless you.
That's right, Mama Head. Thank you for sharing that. Anyone else?
Yes.
I have a question. Yeah.
Hi, Mama Head.
Hi. My daughter, I keep telling her she, you know, she uses that Febreze. I said, don't spray that on my stuff. And she used those flavor beads. And I said, don't use that in my clothes. So I wash my own clothes. She washed her own clothes. RJ washed his own clothes. I said, because that stuff gave me a yeast infection, and I know it did. So,
wow.
And now she's into getting Pine Sol. And I said, you really have these odors in there. They're bothering me now.
Right,
right. They're bothering me now. And we have, we always buy the big old bag of baking soda, and somehow there's a smell coming from the kitchen sink, and I know it's because some food has gotten down in there. And so, but what I wanted to ask about was the blade plugins, because I want to do, can you do something like that, but more natural? Is it possible?
diffusers, your natural, your what do you call it? Your oils and your diffusers,
Yeah.
cool air or warm ones, those are
Okay.
good. You can even I've done a spray. I've taken my Florida water and put in a spray bottle with some regular water, baby, and made my own spray.
That's what I've done too, yeah.
Just a lot of simple things. Even with what I put on my body, I stopped using any lotion. I don't even mess with lotion.
Right.
But what I do is my friend makes a body oil that's really very nice. She has like 10 ingredients in this bad boy. And the oil is really nice. And when I'm out of it, I'm like having a fit. But I tell people you can stretch it. Take half, put some more castor
Oil in it, yeah.
castor oil with it. Castor oil is a godsend, but you can make your own oils. You can take a rock and put the oil, essential oil on the rock. It'll ones that are porous, they will do their thing. But I put them in put some drops, get a bottle, get some water, get your nice spray bottle, throw some essential oil in there and spray. You can put it, where else do I put it? Oh, in our basement, in my humidifier for my furnace, baby. The water's in there. I sprinkle the eucalyptus. The whole house is lit.
Yes.
That's
nice.
Something we can do to just when your heat is on.
Yes.
We don't need to keep
Also,
using all these other companies for their stuff. We doing too much support.
and if you use olive oil on your body, if you have any kind of tumor that is protruding, it will dissolve.
Come on with it now.
You just put it on every day, and that tumor will dissolve.
Castor oil will remove mold.
It also firms the breast.
Yes.
It
Say,
does
what now?
It helps with firming the skin on the breast and tightening the skin.
Come on now, Lily. Come on, Lily.
Okay, Sister Juanita.
Grand Rising, my sisters.
Grand Rising.
Thank you. Love y'all.
Grand Rising.
So I got two things because of what I was just said about the olive oil. I think that was Mama Sunzi and Ayana. So y'all know I'm beating down breast cancer for the second time. And so one of the things I am using, I just put a dab of olive oil in my palm and 3 drops of myrrh and 3 drops of frankincense. And that coupled with the medications I'm taking, a pill called Verzenio 2 times a day. And I get a shot. I can't even think of what the shot is, but all of this is under the direction of what I am told me to do, because I was just doing totally natural holistic healing modes. And I think I was kind of overdosing, because we can't overdose on anything. I don't care how natural it is. Yes. So I didn't really have the knowledge base to really know how to balance. And I think God had to take me to the measurables with the medication. So the tumor is shrinking.
Yay!
It is healing. God is so good. This thing is just, well, we're more than conquerors. So it's something else to conquer. We are overcomers. It's something else to overcome, but it's also become a platform for me to stand on to bring holistic modalities and just ways of helping people to the forefront. So going to this other point of us sharing and reaching out to our community, we have an opportunity for all of the Elizabeths to do just that on November 17th. At my last Cancer Pass luncheon, benefit luncheon. Carmanos has signed on that they are offering guided imagery we are coming into connection with Carmelos at a perfect time when they are embracing holistic modalities more so. And IM has allowed me to have a toe in the door.
Woo!
And come on with me, y'all. So, anybody, I still need y'all to order the t-shirts, please, by my birthday, Thursday. And anybody who orders a t-shirt, there's no vendor fee. We're going to be changing that such that the vendor fee will be $25 for Elizabeth's after Thursday. But right now, anybody who orders a shirt by Thursday, there's no vendor fee. Mama Het, I need you to be there. Please bring your recipes for household products to share because we need that. I'm tempted to raise funds to be able to provide supplies so that 10 or 15 people can take their formulations home with them that day. Anybody who can donate supplies, that's great too. Just the spray bottles, vinegar, oil, olive oil, and lemon juice. That's the basis for a lot of those household products, right, Mama Het?
Well, I'm not sure about that, but yeah, probably yes.
But you've got your formulations that you can share.
Yes.
So whatever those
Yes,
supplies are, yeah, let me know how much you can bring, how many people would be able to take away their own bottle of with what you bring. And then we'll work on getting more supplies, sponsors. Anybody who has cancer, has had cancer, has loved ones with cancer, please sign up. I'll put the link in the chat. Growing the community of my members so that more sponsors will see more reason to sign on and offer their services free or reduced rate to the Laughs Cancer Pass members. So, Mama Raziya, golly, I hate to ask because at our stage and beyond, our energy reserves we have to really safeguard our energy reserves and we can't spread ourselves thin. And so whoever can assist Mama Raziya with bringing, the sprouting process to the event, I seek sponsors to provide the sprout jars, if we could have a sprouting station,
That sounds
whatever,
reasonable.
yeah, whatever you do, all of us have holistic modalities. Mine right now is exercise and nutrition. Even though I'm not practicing for myself like I should be, but I'm getting back on board. I'm doing starting Silver Sneakers Inner Cheat class at 11 a.m. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I promised myself this beginning next Monday. So also hoping, also working toward the funds that are raised being a means to offer these services through Carmanos, because they have this whole integrative health, I might not have pronounced that right, department, I'll say, program, and they're ready to bring on more of this. But we come with, our credentials, come with our expertise, come with our proven methods, our evidence-based information, to help them realize that you have professionals here that you want to share with your patients, because they're ready. They've been doing for a long time. They did a campaign back in the early 2000s, a fundraising campaign to end cancer. Now we know that cancer is a money making machine, and
Right.
here Carmanos is they're doing campaigns to end cancer, and they're structuring themselves to walk out of the need for cancer treatments and clinics. They're walking us into, prevention, and we can be a part of that.
Okay,
So-
well, thank you for sharing that.
I'd like to add something to that. First of all, the olive oil treatment, you need to just flood your breast with it. Don't put a little bit. Just,
not a dab.
no, not a dab. Put a lot of it on there. And that will, my husband, he had prostate cancer so bad, it was protruding and you could see it just standing in front of him. That olive oil would just melt that on the way. I've had clients as a massage therapist who've had fibroids, it just melt that right away, and they just notice even after once a week. But if you put it on there every day, you're going to see a great improvement. Now, I am a senior student of Dr. Vincent's, and he has access to all of the healing modalities. They just throw it at him. And right now there's a vitamin that was designed by Dr. Prasad, who is the world's foremost guy on treatment on nutrition. And the Department of Defense hired him to come up with something that would sustain and protect the soldiers. And he came up with something after several years, and they funded it for several $1 million. And that, the majority of what is going on with us is either 87% emotional or 13% nutritional. And that also includes what is, when you say nutritional, is what is coming through our pores from the air, et cetera, and from even other people's emotions. But this product will cure cancer of the bone, even in its 4th stage, that's one of the hardest cancers to cure.
Yeah, it is.
And if you take it twice a day, you don't need to take anything else. People taking chemo who didn't really believe in the product say they have not experienced any side effects from the chemo. People who need hip replacements and knee replacements, after 30 days of being on the product, they don't need it. People with on dialysis 3 days a week, they get off the dialysis. People with high blood pressure, no more high blood pressure. This thing is awesome. And he has products for Alzheimer's. People taking this product just a few hours after being on the product, they start moving and making their bed and walking around and washing themselves. This
Put that
product,
information for that in the chat, please.
absolutely, I will do that. And anyone who desires to be on the call to listen to the testimonies, I have access to that. So if I can always send it to Sheila or whoever, or Raziya, and then you can send it out to other people. And I'll send the link about that product. It's called Micro Daily. And the vitamins that we take that's on the market is killing us.
Right.
Used to
yes.
think that vitamin C mixed with iron, the iron would help the vitamin C to absorb. Now we're finding that it is not good because the iron, vitamin C rusts iron. And so it's going to rust it in our body.
So you're saying the synthetic or the natural also, the natural vitamins, or just a synthetic?
It's any combination of nutrients that don't normally work together. So it would be in the natural and synthetic form. So with this product, I'm getting on it. I'm staying on it for life because they have other products that work synergistically. And we need that for our community. With what's going on out there, I'm sharing it with everyone. I don't normally come out and talk about these things as far as what's good for the body because there's so many things on the market, but this is superior to anything I have ever seen. And as a retired RN, a wellness coach, massage therapist, I've seen a lot. Dr. Shabi Ali gave me an honorary doctorate for the things that I've been able to do. And I don't normally use the title, but when things like this come up, I want you to know.
Well,
And I'm
thank you so
encouraging.
much.
You're very welcome.
And what's the doctor's name again?
Prasad, Prasad. And I think it's Pray Tell Prasad, but I'll get that information to you.
Well,
Okay.
Sanzi,
Yes.
I got my box yesterday
Oh, wow.
for the product, so I will give you feedback. I'm going to get started today
Wonderful.
in a few minutes with that, the main product, and I also got the Brain Boost.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we will see. But Deidre, I wanted to, well, Het brought up a lot of points about cancer and the household cleaning products. There was a statistic that was put out at least 20 years ago, and the people I heard it from were the Melaleuca
All
people,
right.
and they were saying that their housewives had a higher rate of cancer than working women.
Yep.
And they were using this to help us understand the harm of household products.
Yep.
That we housewives were home longer and probably keeping a cleaner, fresh smelling house. And so they were coming down with higher rates of breast cancer and uterine cancer. The other thing that was given to me years ago is don't go to sleep with your TV on. That though, you're helpless in your sleep and your body is more vulnerable to the rays and the energies coming from that.
Subliminal messages. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Baba told me, don't you have no TV in your room because you be having nightmares, Mama had. So I can't. She was like, no more TV in the bedroom. No more.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Well, I guess we're 15 minutes to the hour. So Mama Het, you have anything you want to share, or we just gonna keep talking?
I do. I real quick. I'm gonna do some woman fussing. So, and this came about from yesterday. I thought about it. I said, we sit here for 2 hours. How many times are we going to the restroom? Are we sitting there holding it? And are we drinking water? And that was something that came to my my little aura yesterday. I think it was. I was like, okay, because I know I'm sitting here wiggling, and I said, why don't you go to the bathroom? Just leave it for 1 minute. Yep. So, yeah, we need to be mindful of that. And teachers are the worst because, they'll train themselves to, let me just, I'm not going to the restroom right now. Go when you have to go, because do you really want to wear a pad between your legs again after all those years, after so many diaper years and cycle years, and now you're free and then you got to get back on. So let's go when we have to go, ladies, and make sure we're moving our core. Move the core. It's all right. Okay, thank you.
Good point. No. That wasn't a fuss. You wasn't fussing, but it was needed to be heard. Thank you.
I'd like to, if we have a little time, add some points about the Nuremberg Code and how it is a part of medical practices all over the world, and so that people know their rights when it and know what is actually going on in the medical profession. Okay, under the Nuremberg Code.
One second. Deitra, can you take us off of the screen when we're all in discussion so we can?
Okay, that's a good idea.
And pop back on when you're ready to share. Go ahead.
Okay, so this code came about in 1947, and I want you to see if your physician is actually doing these things, even in normal practicing, if there's anyone among us who's still going to the doctor. No experiment should be conducted where there is a priority reason to believe that death or disabling injury will occur, except perhaps in those experiments where the experimental physicians also serve as subjects. So realize none of our people are becoming part of the experiment that they give us. The amount to be taken should never exceed that determined by the humanitarian problem to be solved by the experiment. They're doing a job on us indigenous people. Proper preparations should be made in adequate facilities provided to protect the experimental subject against even remote possibilities of injury, disability, or death. Number 4, the experiment should be conducted only by scientifically qualified persons. The highest degree of skill and care should be required through all stages of the experiment of those who conduct or engage the experiment. They said this vaccine, or this jab, is an experiment.
They sure did.
During the course of the experiment, that human subject should be at liberty to bring the experiment to an end. It has reached the physical and mental state where continuation of the experiment seems to him to be impossible. Number 6, during the course of the experiment, the scientist in charge must be prepared to terminate the experiment at any stage if he has probable cause to believe the exercise of good faith, superior skill, and careful judgment required of him that his continuation of the experiment is likely to result in injury, disability, or death to the experimental subject. Voluntary consent. They're not giving us voluntary. They're not letting us volunteer for this experiment. Voluntary consent of the human subject is absolutely essential. This means that the person involved should have legal capacity to give consent, 18 years of age or older. The experiment should be such as to yield fruitful results for the good of the society or procurable by other methods or means of study, and not random and unnecessary in nature. They have another experiment going on saying, oh, we got another jab or vaccine to counteract the effects of the previous one with extensive trials. So they did those extensive trials on 8 mice and they all died.
They lying.
The experiment should be so designed and based on the results of animal experimentation and a knowledge of the natural history of the disease or other problem under study that the anticipated results justify the performance of the experiment. The last one, the experiment should be so conducted as to avoid all unnecessary physical and mental suffering and injury. And they don't do that, not one bit.
When they named this one, they called it emergency. So all of that is out the door.
That's right.
Right.
And it's supposed to be an ethical clause that I won't call. I got.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I mean, that's
Welcome.
important information and truthful information, you know.
So just know that even though they say you have to take it, it is not lawful. You do not. And anyone that wants you to take it, you tell them, I'll take it if you sign that you're going to be responsible and that you will also partake in this. Right. They will not.
Did you read my husband and I read the what do you call it? The paper that you get when you go to get the disclosure.
Oh.
That you sign? I couldn't get past the first paragraph.
Right. And I tell everybody, they're going to the hospital, pay close attention to everything. And if you do not agree, sign out against medical advice. You can do that because right now they're keeping our people in the hospital. They're not allowing anyone to visit. They're doing what they want to do to you.
That's true. Yeah.
So sign out against medical advice. That is
been doing that to us. That's why, man. That's why I don't understand when the transition happened. Somebody act like it was some different people in charge.
No,
and it's the same mofos that was doing what they were doing. And Black folks had to go to the veterinarian. They wouldn't even let us go to the doctor. I told Hetheru, if anything happened to me, I'm going to the veterinarian.
Yeah, right.
They have to learn the human body before they learn the animal body.
Right.
Y'all think I'm playing. I'm serious.
No, but I agree.
Y'all no, the rules have not changed. The faces, they just calling it something different.
Yeah,
And that has
amen,
been
sister.
my take on this. I get in.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
know, take a woosah moment.
Breathe.
Wait a minute, I know what to do.
Right, yeah, the doggy dance.
Okay, now I feel better. Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Sunzi, for bringing that. That is very important what you brought up, and I feel the violation of all of that happening.
Yes.
You know, because they called it emergency. That's what they did to our cities to come and take over our cities. They called it an emergency.
Mhm.
Right.
But I didn't vote for it. We
That's
can have an
right.
emergency vote.
That's right.
But
That's
until
right.
we stand up, it's just like with the civil rights movement. My husband, his parents were very much involved, and a lot of people were involved. He said they did not teach us finance. They did not teach us
They
about
didn't
owning
intend to.
land in that struggle. And so here we are because somebody come flash a stash of cash and we ready. Yeah, let's go so we can start going. I'm gonna make them let me come into Lord and Taylor and Hudson's and all these places. I'm gonna make them no. Take your money, remove your support. You are an investor in the company and you get
Right.
nothing. You know, the
Right.
main people, just like with Levi's killed and see, this is the thing with me with corporations. You know, I hear Carmano saying they want to do that, but it's not us that need to work on the cancer stuff. It's these corporations who are polluting. Levi's killed the whole area. The people died, just like Marathon. Those people dying. These people bought their homes. They own their homes.
Yes.
You gonna come here and give me $2 and tell me to move?
Exactly.
When my great grandmother bought these homes and did what they did to buy these homes, and you gonna tell me now I can't have my house? Every time we get great, they get greater. So you got a home. You pay for your home. Oh, we're gonna raise the taxes and the bills so high that you can't afford it. So now you get to go. I have an apartment. I'm month to month. I'm leased. Oh, now we're gonna turn it into a condo. You got to pay association fees. That's another one getting it. They can take the rent up as high as they want whenever the hell they want. We just coming out of this mess that they started.
Right.
And we gotta pay for it. That's
Yeah.
bull.
But there are some changes that are taking place rapidly in the land because the rule of the white man is ending.
It's ending.
Listen,
And
they
we
know it's
have-
wrong. That's why they doing what they doing. Don't kill
That's
none of
right.
our babies.
They're trying to access as much as your DNA, as much as whatever it is they
That's
need
right.
to keep going.
That's right.
So I just need you to know, don't
me-
give up anything if you don't have to, because now if you give them that blood, they have a weapon that they can make against you personally.
And yet they keep our teeth. I wanted to get, when they pulled my tooth, I wanted my tooth. They said you can't have anything that's connected to your
Yeah.
blood.
In
I
their
said, what?
jurisdiction.
I said, it's my tooth.
In their jurisdiction, though, that's the issue. The corporations
Right.
got that kind of law, that hidden code that they want your stuff. So when
That's
you go
why-
into their jurisdiction, that's what happens.
That's why I kept my placentas. You ain't getting none of this.
Yeah.
You ain't getting none of this.
I say have the babies at home as much as possible because
I
they're
sure
taking them
did.
too.
I
Yeah.
sure did.
Who
Yeah.
told us?
Yeah, these folks out here, boy, I tell you. But yeah, we need to, and just like with this water, these companies are being allowed to tap water. They're allowed to tap into the natural springs, and then like what happened with Flint. Look at Mrs. Jacksonville. They got black sludge coming out of their pipes.
Oh, horrible.
Or you tell me that I gotta pay for this land. You don't have a deed, but you gonna make me get a deed to buy this land. We should be able to, man.
They want to take over Detroit and the water system here.
They already
And so-
did. They got it.
What the Spirit said, keep taking back what you can, but we're going to have some power in the very near future to handle this.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm not giving up. I'm just a little excited.
I understand.
I'm not triggered. I'm not triggered.
Passionate. Is you passionate?
You know, it's interesting. I'm sitting here thinking that we got to be ready to stand up and do some things. We can't sit back and wait for the white man to do anything because they're not going to be able to. We have to do it for ourselves.
I'm not waiting on them.
Right.
And all of them ain't, and it's anybody. To me, it's people that are against humanism. That's what I gotta, you know.
Okay, yeah, good point. Good point.
Cause they ain't all, they got they different colors.
That's right.
That's true. Some
Right.
of them look like us and they still on the side of them. You know, they look like we do.
Yes.
Well,
And they
we
use
are all
them
each
to,
other.
they use our own kind to infiltrate us so they can find out what's going on, so they can put in some negative BS.
Right.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
we were reminded by Sister Omari yesterday. She said we are who we are because we might last lifetime we might have been on a different side of the coin. We
That's
might have been
true.
the side, the top, the bottom, or the back. So we are who we are. But one of the other things, and speaking of sight and what we're dealing with, you know, people are talking about the behavior of our youth. They've been watching us, but the one that bothered me was that these mothers were buying their sons the Grand Theft Auto. Do you know they have
Exactly.
carjacking and the
Horrible.
raping of women,
Horrible.
the raping of women in the video game? And these, are you not looking at this stuff that you're buying for your children?
That's right.
And now they think, so they brought that cart just like us with Bugs Bunny. You know, you put a hole in the ground, you're going to fall through, or, you know, blow up and you come back to life. That's the same crap. So
That's
now
right.
these children are acting out here. They brought the video game to reality.
That's true. That's right.
That's their purpose.
The babysitting. And like we said, everybody has a purpose in life. I'm glad that's not one of my roles that I'm playing this lifetime. But we have got to stop acting a separatist. You do need to learn self. But I came from a neighborhood that everybody was your mama on the block. We didn't play that. Don't talk to my child. If your child is playing with my child, I'm going to say something to you.
Exactly. That's right. That's right.
And we need to stop being so sensitive and realize that parenting has to go on wherever we are.
Right.
Yes.
I tell the children when somebody say something, I said, now you're going to have to do this because they would get mad. Miss House, why are you making me clean up? Dog, you got to clean up your home. They said, Miss House, I'm going to have me a maid. I said, you got to make money to get a maid. So before you get the maid, who going to clean up your crib?
Right.
And like to throw stuff away and throw the shit out in your neighbor. Excuse me. Throw the items in your neighborhood. Throw it in front of your yard. But then again, the wind will blow and it come right to mine. It's okay to clean up. Just do the work. We still have to do that work. I don't care if you don't want to do it. You're going to look at it.
That's right. Go on, Mama Head. That's right.
I have a song when we're ready to complete that's so perfect for us.
Well, I just want to say thank you to everyone who attended today. Thank you, Mama Head. Thank you, Mama Raziya. I appreciate you, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah.
That was a good presentation, Deitra. Good job.
Okay, thank you, Star. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
So I want to throw this in that it's important that we support Juanita. She's looking.
Thank you.
We are her sisters,
Yes.
and this is a nonprofit thing. And when
I'm not a nonprofit.
yeah, right. But we know. Well,
It's
here's
a charitable endeavor.
Yeah, let me just share this. That when she told me how much her medication is, how much that costs per month, it was quite a bit. And
It's $3,000. The copay.
It's
The medicine itself. The copay is $3,000. The medicine itself is $14,000.
Oh,
Now we know that's just in America, right? But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Queen of Doom.
Wait, don't they have grants that I know sometimes with the
Their help. Private donors are paying my $3,000. That's why.
Oh, what a blessing. Good.
Yes, that's why I am doing this to help pay it forward.
Okay.
Part of the funds that are raised, spouses will have the option to designate if.
Okay.
yeah. So she really wants our the knowledge, the stuff that we're sharing here to be able to share that with the people. So we want to get more information. Juanita, if you can put your number in the chat.
It's there.
Okay, and then those things that you can bring, the knowledge and all of that stuff, find out about the vending, the t-shirts. She needs us to get the t-shirts as soon as possible, about the 15th, because that's going to secure the facility, us doing that. So whatever you can do, please do that. And let us do this as a support of not only her and what she's doing, but what we want to do or what we are creating. This is like the beginning of supporting the those organizations that really stand for holistic and being able to provide a cushion, a financial cushion. But not only that, but a knowledge base of what we know and people that they can go to and so on and so forth. For instance, Raziya, they will prepare the food and take it to those that can't move about and stuff. So we want to be able to, but there's a cost for that. We want to be able to help those who are unable to pay for it, are unable to get there.
Right.
There's more than, like, if we need somebody to pay and we need to pay them, then Raziya would have that that pool of being able to pay somebody to get it out, because they can't prepare the food and do the delivering all at the same time. So being able to spread that. And so this is a good start for us as far as the cancer is concerned. And yeah, so she's looking for our assistance in doing that. And
Thank you,
so anyway,
Queen.
we just want to be a blessing to our sister in what she's doing.
To
And-
help bless others. Yes.
Exactly. So this is a song. It does have a little cuss in it, but it is telling the story.
No, I'm just kidding.
Verbs, it's verbs.
Yeah, it is so good. And when he came out with this was just like perfect. And then as we gotta go, well, let's do it, just do it now. Let's get our hug in for ourselves. Remembering that it's Mama Ayaba and Mama Awa tomorrow, and out to the world.
All right.
Love, 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 love. And here we're gonna go with this song because it is something is. It is something is. Let me get that big. All right, here we go. Michael Franti, we do not own this music.
Situation going on up inside my head today. My mind is running round in circles, trying to make sense of the people who are running everything today. All these politicians tweeting, got their message on repeat, and try dividing us with fear and hate. I wish I could find a better way to say this.
But the only way to say it is,
This world is so fucked up, and I ain't never giving up on it. Never giving up on it. Never giving up on it. This world is so fucked up, but I ain't never giving up.
because we live here,
Never giving up.
can't give up.
Never giving up. I wish I could find a better way to say this. We ain't asking for money, we just wanna make change. We do it for all of the people who need it, cause they got a voice and a name. I can't believe how we living today. I got this anger and sadness and pain. They can build walls, but we can build bridges, and we can be part of the change. I wish I could find a better way to say
Part of the change, Elizabeth.
I wish I could find a better way to say this. This world is so fucked up, but I ain't never giving up on it. Never giving up on it. Never giving
Peace out, my queens.
Peace.
See you in the
Peace.
morning, in
Alrighty.
the grand rising of the day.
All
Peace.
right. Peace.
Peace and love, everyone.
Peace.